How's it going? I'm gonna try and try a finial with gum branch. No idea what it is. Just it is. It is what it is. Um, just found it when I was out walking with the wife. So we'll give it a whirl. How you going, Doctor Bob?
How you doing?
Yeah, all right.
So what's the temperature?
It's 89 for you.
Oh, yeah, I lived through some of that, but I wish we had it here
It's nice
today.
at the moment. Very nice at the moment.
Who else have you invited tonight?
Sorry.
Who else have you invited?
Robbo and Blair.
Okay, usual.
Yeah.
Oh, Sunday? Well, I can't give you here. I'll send you the password you need for the meeting
Okay.
on the member site.
Yes. That'll be good. Thank you. This is just random gum branch. I have no idea what kind of gum tree it is. It's just something I found when we were walking one time.
It's really pretty.
Yes, that's just what's right under the bark. That stuff.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff I like to take and deep hollow and make a pencil box out of or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just I don't even bother finishing the outside other than just a light sand and finish.
Yeah, I was gonna try a finial today.
Ah.
Who's that? Oh. Yes, Robert. How you going? They're just better quality, and I'll get the $20 a month package on it, cheaper than StreamYard, and it's high definition. So.
You can join me online?
Sorry? Oh, not talking to me.
No, I got someone here, the youngin. Not youngin, he's a teenager. He knows the way to my heart. Graham crackers.
Oh.
The kitchen light, please.
And I've never been there, Robert. It was a T-shirt that was sold in a department store here. I liked it.
Well, I agree. New Orleans is a ball. Not this time of year, but I've been down there for Mardi Gras a couple times in my life. I remember being on Bourbon Street with friends, and I remember waking up in the hotel room.
Done, sugar plum.
Yeah, that's good.
So how was your day today?
Yeah, not
How
bad.
was your day?
Amber had a lesson this morning. While I dug a big hole in the backyard.
You find any buried treasure?
Nah, not in this area. It was all swampland before it had houses built on it.
I heard gold was just laying around on the ground to be picked up.
What was that? Sorry. Gold.
I've heard, if I believe some of the Australian TV shows, the gold is just laying around to be picked up.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, it draws an audience.
Plenty of fool's gold. I've got a quartz mine in the hills, an old one. Hasn't been used for ages, but there used to be heaps of fool's gold in that.
Yeah. Well, there's an Australian TV show that I watch, and it's Gold Hunt or something like that. And it's all about people trying to find and mine gold, and they do it differently.
And you
because
show
they
you the
pick it
quickness,
up,
though.
they just pick it up off the ground. It's not mining. Evidently, it just lays on the ground,
Yeah,
within 6 to 8
right.
inches of the surface.
Going through all the crap that the big miners have just ditched.
I think they call it Gold Rush Australia, or
Yeah.
Australia Gold Rush. It's the same British company that does the gold rush here in the States and covering what they mine up in the Yukon. And they do all the editing and everything in London for it.
That's not very
Uh-oh.
nice. Look at that. I think that might need some CA.
Well, for a finial, yeah, it's going to need something because that's going to split your finial.
Yeah. My finial's split already and I haven't even made it. That bottle's knackered.
Well, you got someone new in the chat wishing you a good morning. Unfortunately, I can't read most of it because it's running on my phone and it's too small.
That's Yappy from South Africa.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what his handle was. I need to come up with a sheet of
And how you going, Yappy?
translations.
How you going, Soren?
Yeah.
Hey, Eva, how you going?
What you making today, Eva?
Soren's at work trying to look busy. Better get the beans out and count them, mate. Have them spread out of the table, half over that side and a little tiny pile on one side, and make that tiny pile grow bigger. Then they'll see that you're working.
Just inspecting too.
So if you hear a fan, I've got a little one down there, kind of blowing a breeze over my lathe motor, and I got a big one over there blowing a breeze on me.
I don't pick up any of it.
That's right. That's even better.
Well, hello, Blair.
Sorry?
Hello, Blair.
Oh. Did you? How you going, Blair? Jim. Who's Jim?
I don't know. Maybe he changed your name. No, just Jim.
Cleaning.
Hey?
Maybe that's his alias today.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an amen, Blair. I do that and it often screws me up.
Damn voice to text. So you actually said Jim, did you? Take out Aussie mode, mate. Bloody hell.
Well, hello there, Mark. You're up late. Mark joined us from jolly old England.
How you going, Mark?
Now you got 3 continents full of people joined you.
Do you want a link, Mark? Do you want a link?
Good afternoon.
Good evening. And how you doing, Robo?
Not bad. Dr. Bob, yourself?
It's been one of those days. I got involved in a big conference call today and 120 some odd people online, and was showing some of the people the Stuff Carter products that I developed for them for sale. And they were the group of people that sell their Carter products.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it was a closed conference. And I didn't expect it.
Oh, well, that's good. Good afternoon, sorry, to everybody rather than going through everybody. Although, wait on, let's see, we've got Robert there, Dr. Bob, of course, Mark, and Blair. They're the only ones I can see at the present time. So, good afternoon, all. Good morning, good evening, whatever the day is to you.
So Mark doesn't want to join us because he's in bed, but he's quite happy to tell us that he's in bed.
Yeah.
So do we get the visuals in our head of what it actually looks like, or?
Oh, he doesn't want us to see the girlfriend. That's what it is.
Aha.
G'day, Yarpy. And Justin as well. G'day, how are you?
Justin too, eh? Didn't see that one come in.
Yeah.
That one. Sorry, Justin. Didn't mean it like that. Alright, so it looks like this wood had a bit of a crack somewhere else. I've already had to glue it in one spot down here a bit.
Is that Amber's wood, is it?
Yeah, of course it is. Yep.
You miserable shit.
If that's what you want it to be, that's what it is, alright?
Very accommodating.
Alright, you can go now.
Oh, you want your audience to go away?
No, just
Yeah.
Robbo. He's asked the question he wanted to ask.
Now, Jay,
Yeah.
you're making. What are you making there? Just out of interest.
A finial, like the last two that I made yesterday.
Right. Well, get the rest of the timber down round first.
Oh,
Before
before
you-
late, don't you think?
No, it'll hold all right.
Yeah, he's not in a chuck.
Yeah, good to see, isn't it? Actually doing real turning for a change.
Yeah. But if he's going to do a finial, he's got to get it into a
Oh,
chuck.
who is?
sometime.
Who's doing it? Where is it? Let me see. Where is it?
It's easy. Just wait. When it gets posted, we'll give you the URL so you can see it.
All right. Thank you.
So, Robo, what's the temperature down where you are?
It's a very pleasant 24 degrees at the moment. It's actually very hot out in the sun. It's 24 degrees in the workshop, but it's a pleasant day. I've
Well,
just
it's a
got
dry
back.
heat, isn't it? Dry heat.
Yeah, ours is a dry heat than most of the rest of Australia.
You don't notice dry heat like you do the wet heat.
I can get a bit humid during summertime, but it's not too bad. How many days a week are you working now, Justin, or have you been told to stay at home at the moment? Oh yeah. No, I thought they'd cut back your hours for a while. I don't know where I saw it or heard it or whatever. Must be the thing for it. I don't get hay fever normally, but geez, I've had it. I think I've had hay fever for a couple of days now. Eyes are a bit weepy and nose is runny. I've never had hay fever before in my life.
tobacco with happy, wacky tobacco.
Now stop
Arlene.
drinking milk.
Yeah, milk. You got to stop drinking milk. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I imagine it would be. You could run into all sorts of problems with that. Justin just said it's difficult to ride a bike when your eyes are swollen shut.
Oh yeah.
For those that don't know, Justin is a postman.
Where's my parcels?
Yeah, where's my bloody parcels?
I knew as soon as I said that, they'd all jump on the thing. He doesn't deliver parcels, he just delivers letters.
No, not good enough. He works for the post office.
So my parcels is small enough to come in the letterbox.
Oh, I got to look at that. Look at that.
Oh, that's me.
Robo, do you watch a lot of TV?
No, not a lot.
Any?
No, not if I can avoid it.
When you do, what do you watch? News?
Uh,
Outdoor shows? You watch news, outdoor shows?
No, I avoid reality shows like The Plague. I like a lot of British mystery ones like Lewis and Lewis police, English police shows I like. I don't watch many serials or soap operas. So I'm pretty limited and I like adventure type things.
Yeah. So you're an MI5 person?
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm on season 4 right now. I love watching it. Well done.
Yeah, I like watching Agatha Christie's Poirot and things like that. Anything with a bit of a twist in it.
I think her best one is the Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes, yeah, that was a good moral dilemma for Poirot, I reckon, and I think we get faced with that sometimes.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
It was the first time he ever made a decision based on his emotions and
Exactly.
understanding. You know, that was something. Now that's so good that I've got a copy of it on my tablet.
Yeah, just thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. I'm glad about that. And yeah, Justin, totally agree about reality TV. Geez, they've got crews of bloody hundreds around them, and you can't even be expected to act like you would normally. Well, yeah, reality about wood turning, Soren, I agree with that, particularly when they make mistakes, like I do.
Yeah, and aren't afraid to show it.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV. What's reality TV? What's that? Isn't that just real life when you go outside?
The sad part about some of the soap operas is that some of the kids of these days think that that's real life.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of them did.
Oh, bite me. Sorry for wanting nice things.
When I was little, and I mean in the 50s, my mother and grandmother used to listen to As the World Turns on the radio. And then it went to TV, and when it was on, the household was dead quiet, so they could either listen to it or watch it. And they watched it until it went off totally. So they had 26 years of one reality show that was scripted.
Yeah.
And they admitted it was scripted. People get hooked.
Yeah, and Mark said, Jay, it's okay, mate. He shouted at me too when I was earworming for him the other day.
Did Robbo shout at me?
No, not you. I shouted at Mark.
Oh, yeah. You'll get used to that, Mark.
No, the other shows I like are quiz programs.
Like the old $64,000 question.
Yeah, things like that. Oh, in Australia, we had pick a box and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and got the Chaser. I watch that occasionally if I happen to be inside at that particular time, but I don't go out of my way to watch any TV these days. And I like watching. Jonathan Creek's another one of my favourite ones as well.
Yeah. Well, one thing I like to watch, and I catch it in the morning here, is your ABC News. And on YouTube, they've actually made the change about 6 months ago. They'd have ABC News in parentheses, Australia, because we have ABC News here too, the American Broadcasting System. So it's interesting. I'll watch one and then the other to catch up on what's going on both northern and southern hemispheres.
Yeah. 8 out of 10 cats does Countdown. I don't think I've ever watched Countdown or any of those, and I take it that Rachel Riley must be the compere of that, is she, Mark? Well, I'm assuming it's a she. Hello. Dark Matter's in. Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, that's an interesting show, actually. That God, her brain must be bloody absolutely phenomenal.
I could see a problem with her being a college professor teaching math.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think the guys could have concentration.
I'd say so. I must admit, we had a music teacher. Her name was Miss Two Bits. Now, I can't tell you on here what it was, her nickname around all the boys were. And she actually got reprimanded by the principal once for wearing blouses that were a little bit too revealing. Yeah, I'm not intimidated by people like that, Justin. I just think they're very, very clever because, as I've said before, my father was a school teacher that used to teach matriculation classes for the Americans. That's years 11 and 12. And a lot of his friends were like that, like Barry Jones was one of Dad's friends. Dad actually taught with Barry Jones when he was at Dandenong. And met him on a number of occasions, and a very smart fella. But you find that a lot of them that are very down to earth in a lot of ways. Some of them have a great deal of lack of intelligence, funnily enough. Like if a fuse in the house blew, they wouldn't know how to fix it. But in their chosen fields, are very, very good. Yes, Jump. That's exactly that's it. Yeah.
I've got a relative that has 4 PhDs, super smart on quite a bit of astrophysics. He's designed items that float around in space, satellites. He's done a lot of really high-tech stuff. When I go to visit, it's like my GFI, that little plug there, keeps popping, and when it does, it knocks out the one in the garage. Can you fix it? You just replace the receptacle. Well, I don't know how. You turn it off and then do it. It's like he can't figure that out, but he can work it. He's an astrophysicist, and he can sit and do math far beyond the calculator's capability to keep up with him at times.
Yes, my mum and dad, we won't hold that against her, Mark, about being a Manchester United fan. But my mum and dad went overseas a number of years ago now and lived in England and France for nearly 2 years, 18 months, 2 years. And they rented the house out to a university professor in maths. I got a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning because I was looking after the house for them and everything. And he rings me up and he says, there's a beep in the house. And I said, a beep? He said, yes. I said, well, can you hold the phone up near where it is? And he held the phone up. I said, oh, that's the smoke alarm. I said, it's due for a new battery. And he said, oh, how do I turn it off? And I said, well, you really can't without taking the battery out. He said, oh, well, how do I pull it apart? I said, look, Alex, don't worry about it. I'll come across. I said, is it keeping you awake? He said, no, it's not keeping me awake. He said, I can go to sleep with it. I said, oh, yeah, right here. I said, I'll come across in the morning and fix it for you. And I had to go across there at 7 o'clock in the morning. I fixed it. I showed him how to do it. But 6 months later, he rang up again.
Beep. I know. The man I'm talking about is the same way, and had that happened with alarms in his house.
Yeah. Yes, that's dead true, Blair. And Jay, yeah, Einstein did say that. Everyone is a genius, but don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. But that's the same as when they were setting exams for university entrance. I think it may have even been in America. And they couldn't work out why, and this is not a racist comment by any means, why the black population weren't getting into university, and they thought they weren't asking them the right questions. That was the problem.
No, that has been a big sore spot for years.
Yeah, like no,
It makes no sense to me. I've been colorblind for when I was born. In that sense, I was brought up that way.
yeah. My son is colorblind, and it took us 12 years to figure out that he was colorblind. We didn't know.
Well, I'm not colorblind in the red, green, blue. I'm colorblind in the white, black, brown range for people.
Oh yeah. No,
that's how it's typically used here.
Yeah, he's in the red, blue spectrum, and it. But it took us a long time to come out, and we found out accidentally, believe it or not. Like I asked him to pass me something, and he handed me it, and I said, no, not that. I said, the red one over there. What red one? So we went and had his eyes tested, and he's learnt to live with it.
Well, my reference, politely, but I'll put it another way, it's racially colorblind.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see the colors. I just see people.
Well, same here.
But that's around here the kind of quick way of putting it politely.
Yeah, I work on the theory that if people are all right to me, I'm all right to them. I don't give a damn what their colour or background or anything else is.
Amen. We can all get on a lathe and turn something.
Exactly.
We're all pink on the inside.
My mum's so anti-racist. She said I could have a black baby.
Yeah. And we all bleed red.
That's right.
Yep. Well, those people that landed evidently somewhere out in Roswell, I wonder if they had green blood.
Yeah. Area 31.
51.
51, is it?
Yeah, 51. What is it in England?
I've no idea.
They have an area where that they supposedly have secret sites, and they've been monitoring UFOs.
We got a couple in Australia, I reckon, too. I think they've got them everywhere.
Yeah, which makes me think they're real, and that's fine. They're not bothering me yet.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that, actually, Justin. I don't think he's going to, though.
What?
He did pick it up to do the V cuts. Then I thought he might have continued on doing a planing cut down there for that one.
Yeah, you got something better to do. You can go with him too, Justin, if you want.
Move your body, Jay, not your hands.
I can go and make this finial the same way I made the other two, offline.
Move your body, Jay, not your hands.
No, it's too skinny, I'll break it.
No, you won't. You're more likely to break it doing it that way, actually.
Just put your feet farther apart and shift your weight between them. That'll give you a smooth surface.
That actually.
Justin, do you want a link? What were you going to say, Robbo?
That doesn't look like a skew chisel, actually.
I don't know. I'm not getting it either.
Either that or it's been badly bent.
I made my own.
Oh, he's using the side of the skew.
No, using the gouge.
Yeah, just like a gouge. That's right. He's got a gouge, but he's using the side of it.
You're going to now. This is a serious question, Jay. Are you going to thin that down any? That piece?
Maybe only to about where I've done there. Just
Yeah,
that
no.
bit there.
Are you going to thin it down towards the little tip, out towards the tailstock, or not?
Yeah, because I want to thin it down to that size there, I reckon.
Right. We'll come back to your tailstock and work from there back. Otherwise, it's likely to snap when you go to try and do the other end of it. You always work towards the headstock in thin stuff.
What's your next video going to be on, Robo?
Whoa, you weren't turning a bowl, were you, Dark? Like an urn or something like that with segmented pieces? Or was it a laminated piece like for spindle work? Yeah, no. Never use a skew on that. Yeah, because with segmented work, you're actually working on end grain. You're not even though it's in a spindle orientation, the grain is still running across the lathe and you're working into end grain. And a skew chisel, unless you use a skew chisel as a scraper, a skew chisel hates end grain. Yeah, it's funny about that. The skew tends to let you know if it doesn't like it doing something very quickly.
Yeah, they have a mind of their own and a sharp one.
Yep.
Unless the skew is in cahoots with sandpaper manufacturers.
Yeah, there could be a correlation there, actually. I was doing a demonstration once, and I on the skew chisel at one of the clubs, and I forget what I said exactly, but anyway, I wish I could remember what I said. But there happened to be three priests in the audience and in the club membership, and I forgot all about it, and they got very, very upset with me. I called it the devil's tool or something like that, you know. G'day, Sid. How are you? I'm glad you're in. Sid, can you earworm or earwig for me on Sunday morning, please, for the virtual crafts fair? It's at 9:30 your time, isn't it, Jay?
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'll be on.
I got a lot of good comments on you coming in on our club meeting.
Oh, I've got a lot of people fooled at the moment. You don't have to bloody agree, you mongrel.
I wasn't laughing at you, I was laughing with you.
Yeah, no worries, Mark. I think we might have to have an English. We might have to have an English representative there. What do you reckon, Jay? So they can interpret for me.
Well, my dad's English and Sid's dad's English.
Geez, I'm surrounded by bloody palms.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't care,
Maybe.
as long as they behave themselves.
Done that in my house.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell
sure.
you,
It,
here in the
you're the
States,
host.
it is really bad. It's worse than it's ever been, period. And
What was
climate.
that? What was that? Sorry, Rob, I missed the first part.
Oh, I'm with COVID here in the States. It's really
Oh,
bad. It's worse than it has ever been and going up exponentially.
yeah. I thought it was rather cool, actually, Sid and Jay, that the Victoria closed the borders to you lot.
Because we don't want any Victorians here. We got a couple. That's enough.
No, we closed it outside. No South Australians in.
Good, isn't it?
Well, as Paul said, we went 7 months without one case.
Yeah, 7 months without one case. That's not too bad.
No, very good. And then suddenly you got 17 or something.
Yeah, all from the high school near me here, pretty much.
Yeah, I know. Well, you shouldn't visit the schoolyard, Jay.
I try not to.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Americans on the channel are that COVID doesn't actually listen to the Constitution. It just does what it likes. How dare it impinge on the civil rights of the population?
Our government doesn't even listen to the Constitution. What is a disease?
Oh, yeah. Sid just said that the dude from the pizza shop told Fibbies, said he just got a pizza when he was actually working there. I've been trying to get him to use the SKU for months, Dark.
You're gonna have a party in the timeout zone soon.
Yeah, cool. Let's
Yeah,
hear
dark
it
matter.
from
Where are you
Outlook.
from in Michigan? Yeah, I'm just a couple miles out from the city limit of Detroit. I was at the Detroit VA hospital on the 17th. And while I was there for 4 hours for different appointments, they had 6 people die. All vets, but that's, old farts like me that they had in their emergency wards. Amen. It's not the Detroit I remember as a little kid. All left and tore down. Though I do like the art gallery and the museum. I'm just, if you know where Henry Ford Museum is, we're just close enough in the summer where we can hear the steam engines whistle blow. Just down the road from us.
Actually,
Yeah, they have.
I was watching a film the other night where they were driving through Detroit. It was done pre-COVID, and I was surprised at the number of virtually empty buildings there were around the place.
And if you, a lot of that times they show the big white factories from World War II with white paint on them and no windows. And that they tend to emphasize that type of empty buildings because they're big. They were built for World War II. But the problem is they can't tear them down because of our Environmental Protection Agency, because all the paint is lead paint. And since we're on the Great Lakes and we're 7 foot, 8 foot above, and a lot of the buildings have basements that are actually below lake level, it's taken the buildings down. They were made bomb proof because they were afraid of the Nazis bombing them. So they're 4 to 6 foot of concrete reinforced, covered in paint that's very toxic, and they don't know what to do with them. That's the biggest problem, and that's what everyone wants to show often when you see the Detroit area as being bad. All the old factories, you can't repurpose them, or it's too expensive to.
The other problem, would, of course, would be that they're probably full of asbestos too.
Yes, and they stored a lot of waste products underground.
Yeah.
And they pump it out, but they've been so polluted, and people can't even grow anything within, in some cases, 2 and 3 city blocks because the ground is so polluted, and no one's got the money to dig it up and put in fresh dirt. And they tried it, but it gets polluted too because the source of it. It's just economically impossible to get rid of it.
Yeah. On your subscribing.
Well, parts of Detroit, yes, it's becoming a ghost town. That's for sure. The old neighborhood I was brought up in, the house is long gone, and for 4 or 5 streets, there's just nothing. There again, there's a problem because years ago they decided they would take the old houses down and they dumped them in the basements. They just knocked them over and filled in the basements because they all had basements full of asbestos covered pipe and lead paint because mostly those buildings were painted with lead paint outside and inside. So you've got a toxic dump, and no one's got the money to clean it up.
Good day, Klondike. How are you?
Lewis? Hey, Lewis. Thanks for the subscription.
I'll be back in a couple of minutes, Jay.
Yeah, I'll be here.
You know, dark matter, one of the things that people don't realize is how big Detroit is. You could put the island of Manhattan in it, which is New York City, and still have room to put in half again more. In landmass, it's the second biggest physical city in North America. It's gigantic. And of course, you remember we got that big salt mine underneath of it.
Yep. Mm.
Well, howdy. Where in the Klondike do you claim to be from?
Well,
I thought you might have been in British Columbia or Alberta. Not quite Saskatchewan, but British Columbia and Alberta with a handle like Klondike. Okay. I understand. There's more and more people from Alaska and British Columbia, or BC as it's called, uh, and doing wood turning and now getting on YouTube. We've got a man from Anchorage that joins our Detroit area wood turner meetings and also part of the DAWG in England. Yeah, I'll do that, Mark. I have it on my list because every time I find something, I go look at it. Yeah, I have been told that when I worked and lived in Alaska, the I was out of Fairbanks, and there were some trees that we had that were fairly decent, but not many, because their growing season is so short. You know, summer only lasts 3 weeks. At least it seems that way. But then again, the sun doesn't go down; it just stays up for I think it's about 2.5 months you get where the sun just goes around in a circle on the horizon. Yes, that is a compliment from Mark for sure. Well, it grows growing season in Alaska, where the white horse and that is, it's very short. So you don't really have time for a tree to develop.
That train carriage just jumped. Jesus. There's nowhere to run if that comes for us.
It'd be live on your YouTube channel.
You get to see Amber and I die live. It'll squash us.
Well, you're saying that the camera wouldn't go first? You'd be
No.
running. We wouldn't see a thing.
The computer might keep running.
Oh, there's been some sci-fi horror movies where that has happened as part of their plot line.
Yeah. Sometimes the train wheels, they squeak when they go past, and Yappy was kind enough to tell us that that's when the brake hasn't disengaged. I'm thinking, thanks. I don't know if I really needed to know that, but thanks.
Yeah. I've got a very close friend of mine he works for Amtrak, the railroad system here in the United States, the public side of it,
Yep.
for transportation. And he's a conductor, senior conductor. And there's so many railroad stories. It's hilarious that goes on that the passengers never know about. Like, oops, we missed that station, and then explain that there's an oncoming train, so we have to back into a siding and wait for it to go by.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Right.
And the siding happens to be the station that they missed.
Yep.
No, yeah, I'm not really close to Jay Dark. I'm 800 kilometres away, or 500 miles for you lot.
He's closer than Dark is anyway.
Yeah, a lot closer.
Why, Dark? Do you want him to come and whack me over the head with a skew?
Just have them send you one and let your wife hit you, and then you keep the skew.
Just have one in a box that's spring-loaded, so when I open it, it hits me. Yeah?
See you later, Yappy.
See you later, Yappy. Take it easy.
Robo, what's your next video going to be on?
The next live, I'm debating whether to put it on Sunday night or not, because I'm doing the virtual crafts fair in the morning.
But that's
It's
reasonable
on-
to postpone.
Just wait a second, please.
Yeah, all of a sudden stopped, and I'm thinking, shit, what's going on? I had to look over. He muted it.
Right. No, I'm thinking it's going to be on doing a cabriole leg, which you can't really do on a lathe, but it's a club foot more than a cabriole leg. But that was what I was going to be doing, but I'm debating about whether to do it or not at the moment. I'll decide tomorrow.
Nah, have a day off.
Yeah, the trouble is I'll be in Sydney the next weekend as well,
That's
so
alright.
that'll be 2 weeks off.
That's fine. If anyone has any questions, you just direct them to your videos.
Hey, Dark, got a question. Do you know where Carter Industries is that makes the wood turning specialty tools? It's out near you. It's called Carter Products. I designed a bunch of deep hollowing, improved their whole deep hollowing system that they had. And they didn't have enough of a demand, evidently, to put everything I designed in their system. But there's a lot of private turners have been using them. And I have the license to make them. They just resold them. They made a few, but what they turned out with was like a 3/4 inch boring bar to go 12 inches off the tool rest, which is insane. Mine's a 1 inch and an 1.5 inches for the big rig. Are you part of the Mid-Michigan Wood Turners? You don't know when you can get it. Doug.
I take it you're referring to the Virtual Crafts Festival, are you, Lewis? Which is Sunday for me here. I'm doing a 3-legged stand for displaying like weird shaped turnings and that, like eggs and stuff like that.
Well, Dark, if you'd like, you can find me on Facebook. And it's listed if you do a search, Robert Elliott. That's 2 L's, 2 T's. Number 2. And check in and text me or message me, and I'll send you an invite to our Detroit area wood turners meeting.
Hang on, mate.
There's quite a few of the people that follow down here on it as guests and in England. So I'd be glad to give you an invite if you want to text me.
Jay,
Yeah.
Mark's got a question for you there. You have to make him a moderator.
He already is. Yeah, go for it. If you're a moderator, you don't have to ask, Mark. Just do it. I've got my back to the screen, so I won't see it anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm only looking at it on StreamYard, not on YouTube, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Mark's the master of doing that.
God, another bloody captive ring.
This is where I'm going to put it.
Wow, that's a good picture of you, Robo.
Yeah, I had to. I
Show
had to get my
painting.
wife. I had to get my wife to come out and take it. Actually,
Fucking show painting.
I
Sorry,
mean,
I
the
had to
beard
flare
is
that one.
trimmed, the hair is combed back. I mean, you look like a gentleman. I know Mark's rubbed off on you. You've become the Australian gentleman, Turner. The only thing you're missing is a bowler.
well, believe it or not, I've got a top hat around here somewhere, but I didn't want to embarrass Mark.
I could see Mark wearing a bowler, but you a top hat would be befitting.
Well, you wouldn't, you wouldn't, you wouldn't believe it, but I used to wear tuxedos at least twice a week.
Wow.
I had a white one, a grey one, a blue one, and a black one.
Now I've got to ask the question, why?
I
See,
used to
that's
do competition ballroom dancing. I taught it for a number of years as well.
oh, yes. I used to do some, not competition. I loved it. And then it went out of style. And I got sick and tired of being teased. Got into a fist fight over it and almost got sued for taking out 2 teeth from the other person.
Yeah, Soren, I thought I'd better put on a clean one for it. I had that jacket. It was clean when I did the demo up at your club as well. I've been a hippie as well, Dark. Don't worry, I had hair down to nearly down to my waist and a beard about the same. I looked like Cousin It for quite a few years. To answer your question, Dark, yes, Robert Elliott is the bloke with the sexy grey beard.
Better watch out, Dr. Bob. Dark might get you into his red tube channel. He likes sexy beards.
Dark thinks everybody's sexy. I'm just waiting for him to call me sexy. He's very sadly mistaken there. Ask my wife. No, that was a long time ago, Robert, before my knees gave up. All right then, Lewis. We'll catch you later on. You take it easy.
Thanks for coming in, Lewis.
Mark, how are you doing? Getting any more sleep?
Who are you talking to?
Mark.
Oh,
Mark.
sorry.
Kind of like he has insomnia at times, it seems.
Yeah.
Which is a problem with post-traumatic stress at times. Have a good day, Sid.
See you later.
Yeah, that's true. And it doesn't necessarily happen instantly. It can develop over years. They used to treat it with drugs to make you kind of at least be numb. And then they don't work. And they try the head shrink people. They don't work. With fellow members that are living it and going through it, that seems to be the best way of handling PTSD. And for me, it's wood turning. Yeah, I've used it, I don't know, probably with 20, 30 vets over the years that I've known and in clubs that I've worked with, because it's so much easier to take your anger out on a piece of wood. I like that phrase. It's right. You can start off with a log and end up with a toothpick and a pile of shavings of which you can justify because that's good mulch, and we don't have any for the garden. Yeah, do the same thing. Put on some decent music and just turn. But sometimes it just doesn't work because there's some trigger that hits, and then all of a sudden it stops that from being able to work. Amen. And that's why I think his channel is fantastic. I really do. Between him and Robo, it makes it. Yeah, if you can look me up on Facebook, give me a holler on Messenger. I'm listed as Robert Elliott too. I joined Facebook early, but I'd like to share some stuff if you're interested that helps over the years that I've been able to do that's funny. And I've used it to help other vets. Even had a vet that had only one arm. Actually, from the wrist down or from the elbow down, he had a prosthesis, and we were able to modify it so he could turn with the prosthesis. And the VA went really wild and crazy over that. Boy, did we get into trouble.
Well, I taught a one-armed wood turner. I've taught a blind one as well.
Yes, there's a blind wood turner online that
I know. Yeah, Thingo Fisher. Yeah, I was fortunate. I think he was blind because of an accident later on in life. The bloke that I taught, so at least he had an idea of what I was explaining to him.
Yeah, mine was too. It was from the Gulf War. His Humvee got blown up on him, and he was standing on the downward blast side, and he got hit as part of the vehicle flew over his head and took his arm before it landed behind him.
Yeah, Chris Fisher, that's the one. Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed part of the conversation there. I was talking to my wife, so. Either I'm getting used to those trains, Jay, or they're getting quieter, one or the other.
Yeah, they've been making the train tracks quieter and quieter over the last 6 months. Actually, putting different more stones down and stuff like that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, putting new sleepers and ballast in.
Yeah, they because they're electrifying the tracks. So
yeah.
And instead of having the old Jarrah sleepers in there, they've got cement ones now.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're going along and putting the lovely giant poles everywhere now. I'm all for electric stuff, but when there's giant poles like that everywhere, like cut down all the trees that were there, all the golden wattle, hundreds of them, to put poles in. Wicked.
Yeah, but it'll make a big change in air pollution.
Oh, I don't know. I love the smell of diesel in the morning.
Horrible when it floats down. Like 10 minutes after the train's gone, it's floating down over your house. It's terrible.
That was a rip-off,
What's that? Sorry.
Robo. That line was a rip-off, Robo, from a movie.
Yeah, I know.
There's
Well,
only probably a few of us online that even know it anymore. But that was basically very true, and that's what
Uh,
most people, you tell them, oh, that's how it was, then they'd say, nah, it can't be.
yeah.
Especially when they're treating post-traumatic stress later, and they say that was real. Yes, I had a counselor that had several years, and she just was in tears. We had a group session of 5 of us from Nam, and it wasn't that we did it on purpose the first or second time, but she just broke into tears because she couldn't handle what the reality we had to live through was. Yeah, I smell a napalm in the morning.
Yeah.
Justin, you should have seen what they had out there. I only lived like 50 meters. I just had to walk down to the next court and go into the back paddock to go see them. But they had these. They were like a digger, but instead of having the digger on the end, they had a claw that went like this, like a really giant hydraulic claw. And they'd put that at the base of the plant, cut the plant off at the base, lift it up, and straight into the chipper. It was like I didn't even have a chance to get one. I would have loved to have the heaps of golden wattle drying around, but nope. I've never seen them chop trees down like that around here before. Normally they go limb by limb.
Yeah, I've seen them do it that way for when they're thinning a forest or cutting a fire break.
Yep.
It's cheaper, a lot cheaper in manpower. You got a machine and an operator and a foreman to stand around and tell you that you're doing it right. Because, well, you got a truck driver that has to drive the chipper, the container for all the wood chips that they're going to turn around and sell and make pressboard type plywood out of.
They've got there's a green, not green waste, but they take greens and stuff like that and they turn it into mulch and sell it. So yeah, I know exactly where that
they make sheet goods out of it. They put glue and high temperature
particle board,
press it together, and you get chipboard.
Yeah.
The only strength is from the glue. The wood, there's no strength to it. It just holds the glue in place.
You should see the my 2-story, the flooring upstairs. It's not floorboards like you think they are. It's chipboard.
Ah.
Yeah.
Did they finish it and paint it or accent it?
They put lino over the top.
Oh yeah, chipboard for building is very popular. It's heavy, and depending upon the adhesive and binder they use can be fireproof or fire retardant, and that's good.
I was kind of shattered actually
in multi-story buildings.
Yeah. No, I was a bit annoyed because a lot of the 1-story, single-story houses here that are made by the same company, they have actual floorboards, like hardwood floorboards. And then I come here and they don't have them. I was like, oh, that's not fair.
No.
Like a crappy old particle board. I think I would have spent the first couple of months that I'd moved in polishing the nice boards if they were such.
Bullshit, Jay. You'd have torn them up and turned them.
No, I wasn't turning then. I'd be doing that now, though.
It does turn, depending
Oh,
upon what they used as an adhesive and binder.
yeah, but it rips the hell out of tools.
Oh yeah, saw blades if they need to be carbide.
Oh, Justin, that's what segmenters do. They get a big piece of wood, cut it up into little bits, and then glue it all back together again into a big
Yep,
piece.
fake wood. But they call it art and can charge 10 times more because it's art.
Naturally.
Hey Jay, I really
Yeah.
like that. You
Yeah,
gonna leave the base on it?
Yeah,
Yeah, because that'd be great with a little bit of felt glued to it, the foamy green felt, and it can sit on a table
yep,
and can hold notes. And if it's not heavy enough, so as would fall over, you can hollow the bottom out and put lead weight in the bottom.
yes, I could do that. I seen watching that the Detroit club demo last week.
Yeah.
That guy making all the spare finials. Like, that'd be a good way for me to practice.
Well, you saw online on our website, or yeah, and it's been posted, so you can go back and watch it anytime you want. And
Yeah.
after it goes down from there, you can jump into the membership side. I'm working on a special membership for you guys.
Yeah, sounds
There's
good.
so far a lot of people have said that makes sense, talking about people who are not just 100 or 2 miles away,
Yeah,
but far away.
and over the pond membership.
Yes, because another one they've talked about wanting to have so Mark can stay and come in when he wants and be able to
Yep.
get to the members page, and so can you guys and post on it.
Well, Mark, yeah, I agree. It requires more patience than I've got, unfortunately. Although I must admit, I admit to doing some segmenting work years ago, just because. And yes, Justin, I agree. It is less wasteful than anything else, and there are some fantastic segmented pieces out there, I must admit, but just not my scene, I'm afraid.
Not
Well,
my scene. Whoops,
well, I
sorry.
think it's two art forms. You've got the artist and the engineer, in essence, that designs it, the engineer in you, and what you need, what goes where, and then the art of being able to actually, not the art of turning it, but how the segments are put together, and often they're in multiple patterns,
Yeah,
spirals, or even have. Uh, I've seen some here that our club did a coat of arms in one,
yep.
and that's the art. That's an art part, and then the third part of being able to do it is to put it on a lathe.
Yeah, Justin, you're dead right. It's not pen turning. That's right.
I have
Uh,
never tried it. I've been afraid to.
I've never turned a pen. I have no desire to turn a pen, and I, it's just I've explained my reasons why I don't like pens. But I
Because
have turned.
they don't fit on a 40-foot lathe, so he doesn't want to know about it.
Actually,
And he can't use
actually
his roughing gouge on a pen. But watch him do it for a demo to prove me wrong.
no, you can use it. In fact, quite a lot of my friends do use a roughing gouge for doing. That's all they use it for, is just doing pens. So it works quite well. It is really spindle turning. It's just, oh well, it's the way I am. But no, I'm putting Mark out offside here. Boy, nothing wrong with pen turning, you mongrels.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're in the wrong group.
No,
G'day,
he's
Mark.
not.
And Justin says a basket weave is trendy, but I think segmented is a more genuine form of the art. But no, I like. There's a couple of segmented things I really like. We've got a bloke out here called Jim McConaughey. He's won a lot of competitions with his segmented stuff, but it's
I've heard of
interesting. Yeah, and there's another one. I think he's American based that does the Navajo sort of decoration up the sides, and I like that. And there's another one around as well that does like hieroglyphics on them, and they look really, really fantastic, you know. But when I segment, generally it's in pieces that are 12 inches deep, and that to put together a tabletop or something like that, or the pedestal for a table, single pedestal table. So I'm still working with big stuff.
Hey, if I have a piece explode on me, is that just like Irish segmenting?
No, that's called reverse engineering.
Okay. What do you got? Oh, is that the one from out in the fridge?
And I put a little bit of this in there.
Well, I have heard from people I know, at least around the Michigan, Ohio, Indiana area, is that the profit center in wood turning, you get the highest bucks for the lightest weight stuff that you can turn per weight. And that's pen turning. Some of those pens, I have a friend of mine who I've known for quite a while, active in our club. He does some very custom stuff where the mechanism will run him $80 to $90, and he sells it for $400, and including a case of which he buys to put it in. And it takes him about an hour and a half to 2 hours to make it. So time and materials, he makes the biggest ROI.
No, you just went to the toilet, go lay down.
But these aren't the typical pens that you buy from the wholesalers. These are nice pens, $80 for the pen itself to $90. And they're fountain pens. What else? And the tip on the pen is expensive. He can pay upwards to $20 for a tip for a fountain pen, in gold or platinum. But the ROI makes it worth it.
Yep. I'd want to have a lot of beans in my pouch to justify spending 400 beans on a pen, though.
No, it's for executives that can afford it and want to show off the glitz of it. But they buy them at that price and more. Yeah, that's right. You got to have the buyer, and he does. He happens to know him through church, and of course, living in the Detroit area where he does outside of it, he hobnobs with a lot of people that are corporate executives.
Yeah, Jay, why don't you put that back in the thing again and cut the top off it with the skew chisel?
Oh, you want me to wreck the whole piece, do you?
No, it's easy.
Are you just looking for a laugh?
Oops, sorry, darling.
What?
Okay, thanks, son.
I've never seen a drive like that before.
Sorry?
Never seen a drive center like that before.
What, 4-spur one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they all come out with.
Standard.
I haven't even seen them in shops here.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Bob, but they're crap.
Yeah. Just to go back, I have a friend called Nathan. He turns $500 pens with a minimum order of 10 pens.
Ooh.
He's also made a pen that he valued at $6,500 for a corporate customer. That's all he supplies is corporate customers.
Yeah.
All right, Robert. You got to have a nice pen to show off your 20K Rolex.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Yep. Now,
Well,
Jay,
that's
just
what
use the
my
long
friend
point
does.
down.
Like
And,
that.
yeah, but use the chisel in your right hand so as you can support, or you can come around the back if you like with your right hand and support the thing, the finial.
Oh, yeah, I get you. Yeah.
And then as soon as it releases, out towards the back to get it off the drive spur, all right?
Yeah, obviously I don't want to smash it up against the tourist.
Yeah, I know that.
Maybe I shouldn't have taken it out.
No, it should be right.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, a new banjo make a hell of a difference, Mark, particularly if it's lower. No, well, just to explain, Justin, Nathan used to be a high-flying computer guru, and he was headhunted all around the world. And he gave it away about 10 years ago and thought, oh, what can I do? Like, he owns about 3 buildings in Melbourne. And so he took up his hobby, which was wood turning. And, of course, with all the contacts that he made during his travels at work, he uses them for all his corporate gifts and everything. He's never short of work. See,
Yeah,
that was easy.
I made you a tit.
Yeah, thank you.
Tit for a tat.
That's
Even got a
that's a
brown nipple.
that's a Madonna one. That one.
Yeah.
I think that went over his head. He's too young.
No, he knows.
I know what Madonna's tits look like when she's got a plastic bra on.
I do too.
Yeah, my friend's got the connections through his church to executives from Ford and General Motors. So he does at least 1 or 2 a month.
Yeah, not bad, Joe.
Yeah,
Somebody's
really
got
nice.
somebody's got a YouTube or something open by the sound of it.
You got a little sticky felt to go on the bottom.
Yeah.
Really good.
Here's tomorrow's,
That'll be fun.
and here's the next day. Look, a little bit bigger. Yeah, a little bit longer. Huh? But unfortunately, tomorrow, one of them's going to get coloured.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Ruining wood.
Oh, yeah. I've got plenty of branches lying around, so...
All you got to do now is use the skew on them, and you'll be dead right. Yeah. Well, you've been pinching the stuff from the kindergarten, have you?
Nah, Amber bought a pack of them.
Actually, I'll be curious to see how they go, because a lot of times around here they dry out pretty quickly.
Yeah. My shed's pretty small though. And it's got a good pencil case.
Yeah, but the other thing that I had learned a long time ago from a colleague of mine uh, is he takes a small sponge, yeah, or a couple pieces of paper towel and dampen them and put them in the storage container because he's got dry, hot summers, and that's how he keeps them.
Oh yeah. Yep. Didn't think about that. Nothing but the skew. Hey, Dark. Mm.
Well, that's what I said too.
All right, tomorrow. All right.
I shall wait with bated breath.
What time are you going to be busy, Robbo?
Yeah.
We need to know what time to see you do it. What's the ETA?
I'll use this one. All right.
Oh, not the oval skew.
Oh,
Oh.
Yes, I'd imagine you'd have to do that, Mark, to get it to go in. Like the fella on Detroit that did the Christmas decoration the other night used Sharpies. It's a pity he didn't show how he used them, but I would have been interested. But
See you later, Soren. Thanks for coming in. Tell your boss thank you.
see you later, Soren. See you later. Oh no, it's all right. Justin's just saying uru to Soren. That's all.
I culled in a finial yesterday with different colours, and you've actually got to roll. You've got to roll the Sharpie when you're moving it along the wood, and that's how you keep it from drying out.
Yeah, I figured you'd have to because it dries out rapidly in one spot if you're not careful.
Yeah.
but they also, the big problem that I had found that they overheat, and then the so-called felt tip isn't really felt, it's a plastic and it melts. Maybe I just bought ultra cheap ones, but I was having the tips melt on me when I used them at any speed.
I'd still like to get the ones that the Indians use, the shellac wax sticks in the brilliant colours.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen them in Australia.
Well, it is 100F now.
But at least it's dry heat.
Yeah. Humidity
Adelaide,
is 80% now.
Adelaide's a bit more humid than what Melbourne is most of the time.
Yeah. Unfortunately. What's the humidity in Adelaide?
I seem to have hit a hiccup. In a few.
Oh, how do you
What-
get it to have the humor?
What did it say?
It said, I seem to have had hit a hiccup. Come back in a few.
Oh yeah.
Bloody computers. What's the humidity in Adelaide?
It isn't raining right now.
No shit.
The forecast shows partly sunny skies in Adelaide, South Australia, with a high of 30 and a low of 20 degrees.
No humidity.
Apparently not. Feels like it though.
Let me see if I can find out. Alexa, what's the humidity in Adelaide, Australia?
Currently, in Adelaide, Australia, the humidity is 50%.
Did you hear that?
Can you talk to Alexa in America?
Hello, what's the humidity in Adelaide, Australia?
Yes,
Sorry,
Alexa,
something
thank
went
you.
wrong.
Hey, your humidity is 50% in Adelaide.
Yeah.
My Alexa just told me.
It's a bit. It's a bit.
It's how I can get weather that far away that quick.
You get better weather
This is
report
like-
than I do. And I live in the bloody
living
thing.
in an Orwellian society, or a developing Orwellian society from what, as a kid, I was brought up in, to me is amazing. And the kids now take it for granted.
Say something.
Something.
No, I didn't pick that up.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
What service do you have?
Oh, I see what it's doing. Ah, it's every time I hit the microphone button for it to listen to you, it quietens your voice right down. So, interesting.
Is that your nighttime live, Mark, or lunchtime?
Oh, yeah, what's it doing?
Please excuse my favourite weapon, dark. Somebody asked me the other day how many I'd worn out, and in 4 months, 40 odd years of turning, I've worn out 95 skew chisels, according to my books.
Do you find one brand better than the other?
Yeah, I used to like, I still do, Henry Taylor's, but I generally tend to make my own skews now out of, it's an S7 steel from Belaret. But they're all reasonably good. Like the Hamlet one's good, the P&N ones were good, except some of the P&N ones were just a bit too thick. Instead of being 6mm, they were 8mm, and I didn't like the extra thickness in it for some reason. Oh, you got a hole through it.
I made a funnel yesterday.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know. It's like a ring that you have to sand. You haven't sanded yet.
Yeah, that's what it was meant to be. Yep.
Yep, that's the answer you should give.
It's a UFO. Can't you see that? No.
It's a holy one yet.
Yeah. The aliens jumped out. That's the Sharpie color on that too.
oh yeah, that came out all right.
That could be
Yeah.
a ring for a necklace or a bead for a necklace.
Yeah,
Too big
it
for
was
a
actually
bracelet.
it was meant to be a spinning top, but it didn't quite work out. It spun off.
Oh, baby, he fell in the mud again.
Oh, he got up. He's all right.
Oh, okay. Go lay down.
Your night times are good, Mark, because they fall into a time 7 o'clock in the morning, so they're watchable at that time of the morning. Unfortunately, all the lunchtime lives now are on after midnight. That looks like a lighthouse.
Yeah, that's the one that I coloured in Sharpies yesterday.
Well, you know what you'd be better off doing is where you've got the colour, put a V cut in on each colour to define where it is.
Yeah. And this was going to be one fat ring, but it was too fat for the tool to cut through it, so I split it in half with a skew right at the last minute. I reckon the brown came out the best, I reckon. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah, have you tried yellow?
Yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, yellow's always a bad colour.
I'll show you the yellow. It's hiding under the rings. Hence
Too,
the rings.
bit too close to the camera. That's better. Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it shows up.
I'll have to see if I can catch that, Robert. Got a bit of skew work in my upcoming video next Sunday.
Yeah, all right. Felt like someone broke my neck. Oh, that hurt. Alright, get lost.
Yeah, I've actually had a couple of hand forged skews, but they still don't seem to work as well as what the proprietary ones do. The steel's not quite as hard.
Well, that's what I was taught on when I grew up, because my great grandfather, they made all their own wood turning tools because you just couldn't go buy them.
Yeah.
And their fathers did too. That was part of what they were taught in school there in Ireland.
Well,
when they were
the
starting.
Japanese turners do a 7-year apprenticeship, and in that time they've got to make their own tools as well.
I love the shower curtains Neil's got around his lathe and stuff.
Yes, they do work. I've got them for mine. It cuts the vacuum cleanup down tremendously. But the other problem is they're plastic and they have a static charge. So with the curtains, you'll end up with a layer of dust stuck to them.
Get spray on starch.
Spray on stuff fixes that.
If you all want to get some good skew practice, make big stick pens. They're a lot of fun to make, and you can make them any way you want, just like a finial. Dark, go and wash your mouth out, will you?
You better watch out, Dark. He's got admin rights. He'll send you to the pen naughty room.
That's an insult to all wood turners and skew chisels in general. Oh, Mountain View Turning's just joined. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
How you going? Mountain View, sorry. I apologise, I've forgotten your name. What happened with that other one you did today?
Huh?
Where's the other one you did?
My lion?
Yeah.
Put it inside.
Where?
On the craft table. Because it was done.
Yes, Dark. I don't do pens. Yeah, good night, Mark. Hope you get some sleep tonight.
Yeah.
I might be on the seat there then. Doesn't matter.
Sorry, what's that, Amy? Amber, at least, sorry.
Oh, you're lucky. I was just talking to Jay.
Yeah, no, you're too far away from the microphone.
I'm talking to Jay.
Oh, right.
That way.
Humor you got to think at.
I was getting this.
Oh, yeah. God, she's still working on those.
Yeah.
She's just working more on the shading and stuff now.
It's
Oh, yeah.
That
one's done.
Done.
That looks pretty cool.
It does.
Thanks for coming in, Robert.
Yeah, good night, Robert. Keep safe and well.
He only got up because you got up. What? He should be in bed.
Yeah, I reckon I might knock it on the head now.
I was about to say, I'm gonna go to
Yeah,
bed.
it's getting close to 11:30 at night here. I've been up since 6.
That's my 2-hour
So I'll catch
curfew.
you tomorrow.
Everyone done it?
Geez,
Yes.
I'll tell you what, we've just had a cool change coming through here. I reckon the temperature's dropped about 5 or 10 degrees in the last 10 minutes. I'm going to have to go and get it and put a jumper on.
Yeah, we went from a 40-degree day yesterday down to 10 last night.
Yeah.
I didn't believe the weatherman when I thought it was going to get that cold.
Well, catch you tomorrow.
Yeah,
See you
good night,
later.
Bob.
Notice. Yep. Gotta go and get some sleep.
Bye-bye. So what day did you say you're going?
Wait on. Good night, Dark. Good to see you in here. We're leaving on the 20, well, hopefully New South Wales was talking of lifting the border controls on the 23rd. So hopefully we'll be at the border about midnight on the 23rd so that we can just go straight through. That's if they lift it. So that's Tuesday.
I thought they already lifted it.
No, they haven't lifted it yet between us and New South Wales, I don't think.
All right. Catch us later. Don't forget to like or dislike, whatever.